Hey guys, today I thought I'd talk to you about something that's very close to my heart, and that is movies. And I know this is booktube, but this is relevant, I promise. As you can probably see in my videos, I've got a bookshelf here, and here I have movie shelves because my two greatest loves in life are probably books and films, and so I thought it would only be appropriate for me to talk about movies once in a while, and this is going to be one of those videos. I want to talk about movies that are based on books because generally those movies get a pretty bad reputation, and I don't think that's fair. And I honestly have enjoyed most movies that I've seen that are based on books because I think if you take them as a completely different form of art and you think about what has to go into adapting, you know, a 500-page book to a 2-hour movie, obviously you have to cut out a lot of the details, and it's just, I just think it's probably really hard to make a movie from a book and to please everybody who's read the book. That's not possible. If you take a movie as a separate form of art and you think about how it expresses the story and the feeling, and if it can capture any of that from the book, I think it is a success. So I'm going to share with you some of the movies I have that are based on books and that I think are really good. So I'm going to start with movies that are based on Jane Austen books, and I have 4 of those. My very favorite movie of all time is Pride and Prejudice, the one with Keira Knightley. I've seen this probably a couple dozen times. I just think it's really, really beautiful, and I think the cinematography is great. I think the story is captured. I think Keira Knightley is great as Elizabeth Bennet. I just think it's great. I have the Masterpiece Theater version of Northanger Abbey, which is starring Felicity Jones and J.J. Field, and again, I just think this is a lovely adaptation. I only have the disc because it was secondhand, but really, really excellent. I have Sense and Sensibility, the one with Alan Rickman, Emma Thompson, Kate Winslet, and Hugh Grant. Again, this is a lovely movie. I have not read this book, so I can't really compare it like that, but really most Jane Austen adaptations I've seen are really excellent. And the last one I have is Emma, starring Gwyneth Paltrow, and this is just a cute, cute movie. I've seen this many, many times, and again, I haven't read Emma, but I don't think it's that far off from the story. I'm pretty familiar with the story, and this is just really excellent. The next one I'm going to talk about is from the same director as this Pride and Prejudice, and it is Atonement, also starring Keira Knightley and James McAvoy, and this is sort of a tragic sort of story. It's based on a novel by Ian McEwan, which I've actually tried to read. I read about a third of it. I just thought it was really plotting and description heavy, and I didn't love the book, but I love this movie. It's just beautiful. Again, the cinematography is beautiful. Joe Wright is my favorite director, and he directed this and Pride and Prejudice. He also directed Anna Karenina, which stars Keira Knightley. This is just a beautiful movie. It's very sad, but it's very romantic, and it's just excellent, and I definitely think you should watch it. The next set of movies are ones that I think a lot of people have seen, and I have not read these books, but it's the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and I specifically wanted to talk about these because I have the extended editions, and I have not seen the theatrical cuts of these since they were in the theaters because my brothers bought these as soon as they came out, and this is just what we watch, and these are each like 4 hours long. They're ridiculously long, so obviously you have to plan out a lot of time to watch them, but if you have not seen the extended versions of these movies, you definitely need to get your hands on them and check them out because there is so much content that they added. I think there's a half an hour to an hour of new footage in each movie. I could be wrong. They're each about 4 hours long, as I said. Really long, but definitely try to get your hands on the extended editions because there's just so much story that they added. I have a few more. I want to talk about The Perks of Being a Wallflower. This is based on the book by Stephen Chbosky, and I read the book right before I saw this, I think, and I thought this was just a really, really nice adaptation. I thought it was true to the feeling and true to the story and the narrative style, and it's just a really lovely movie. It's about Charlie as he's starting high school. This is Charlie. And just what he's going through as he's dealing with some past issues that he's had and making new friends. I think it's got a lot of depth, and I really, really like this one. The next movie I'm going to talk about is The Painted Veil, which stars Naomi Watts and Edward Norton. This came out several years ago, and it's a romantic drama. It's based on a novel by W. Somerset Maugham, which I read at the time. I was like, I don't know, I was probably like 13, which is funny because it's a pretty serious literary work, and I think a lot of it maybe, I don't know, it's not the kind of thing that I read at that age, but I read it anyway because I really, really loved this movie. This is sort of an ambient romance story. It's about a couple who, they're not really connecting, and then they go, he's a doctor, and they go to China, and they deal with the cholera epidemic. This is historical. I haven't watched this for a while, but it's historical romantic drama, and it's really excellent, and I thought it was better than the book because the book was sort of high and literary, and this is just a really accessible drama. The last movie I'm going to talk about is one of my favorite movies. I've seen this many, many, many times, and it's Never Let Me Go, which is based on the novel by Kazuo Ishiguro, and I read the book after I saw the movie, and I liked the book, but honestly I think the movie is a little bit more accessible and likable. It's very true to the story, it's true to the style, this is a very somber, sad movie, but it's very, very beautiful. And it stars Keira Knightley, Carey Mulligan, and Andrew Garfield, who are some of my favorite actors. And honestly, I just love this movie. I like a lot of sad movies, but this is one of my very favorites. It's not sad the whole time. It's just, if you've read the book, you really need to watch this. If you haven't read the book, you still should watch this. Obviously, I watched this before I read the book. It's sort of a weird sci-fi because it's not like super science fiction-y. It's very dramatic and ambient, but it has that element of science fiction, and it's just a super interesting story, and it's a really, really great premise to build off of. And yeah, I think I've probably talked about this enough, and you should definitely watch it. Yeah, this was a different kind of video, but I hope you liked it. There's lots and lots of movies that have been based on books. A lot of those movies suck. These are some of the ones I think are really excellent, and there's more that I like. But this is just what I chose to talk about. And I guess I will just see you guys later. Bye.